Dans cette vidéo, I've got 5 words in French which carry 2 meanings, both of which are the opposites of one another. Let's go through these funky words one at a time. Allez, c'est parti. Salut French learner, moi c'est Alex and I'm your native English-speaking French coach, here to make the language more digestible and fun so that you can speak with confidence. Let's dive right in. The first one is apprendre. Did you know that apprendre means both to learn and to teach? C'est vrai! J'apprends le français is I'm learning French or I learn French. And mon prof m'apprend le français means my teacher is teaching me French or my teacher teaches me French. Quirky, right? To understand and differentiate between the two, let's look closer at the grammatical structures. Here's the first one, c'est-à-dire, i.e., to learn. The structure is quelqu'un apprend quelque chose. Quelqu'un apprend quelque chose. In addition, if the quelque chose is expressed as a verb, we need the preposition à between the verb and the action. So, ma sœur apprend à être plus ponctuelle. Ma sœur apprend à être plus ponctuelle. If you think about it, it's the same in English. I'm learning French. My sister is learning to be more punctual. As for when apprendre means to teach, the structure is quelqu'un apprend quelque chose à quelqu'un. Quelqu'un apprend quelque chose à quelqu'un. So that's the differentiating factor there, à quelqu'un. Mon prof apprend aussi le français à mon collègue. Mon prof apprend aussi le français à mon collègue. My teacher is teaching French to my colleague as well. Or my teacher is teaching my colleague French as well. So how can you tell the two meanings apart if you were to hear apprendre used? Well, like I alluded to before, it's the presence or absence of a recipient. Il apprend le français has no recipient in it, so it must mean he's learning French. Whereas, il apprend le français à mon collègue, or indeed, il lui apprend le français, contains a recipient. So it must mean he's teaching my colleague French and he's teaching him French. Note that you probably learned somewhere along your journey that enseigner means to teach. And it does. Apprendre is simply just an alternative. And it's used quite a lot in everyday life. So good to know it, n'est-ce pas? On to numéro 2, and it is the verb louer. The verb louer means to rent to and to rent from. So as you can see, English could be confusing for learners too. However, in English we change the preposition for each meaning, and we also say to rent out or to let when we are the owner, which help to differentiate. In French, however, the preposition doesn't change, nor are there different forms. Il loue l'appartement à mon ami could mean he's renting the apartment from my friend or to my friend. Unlike with apprendre, where the grammatical structure is different based on the meaning, which helps us to identify it, louer doesn't give us this luxury. So we need to use good old context to understand it, and there's no real problem, really. Unless you come into the conversation halfway through, you're going to know from context whether your friend is living in a new place or owns a place that he's renting out. Unless, of course, you don't know him very well. So that's the duality of the verb louer à quelqu'un, to rent to or to rent from. By the way, speaking of dualities, the journey to French confidence and fluency is certainly a two-headed beast at times. Some days you're feeling like you've got the hang of it, and then other days you'll go into a conversation or a short interaction or exercise and feel utterly useless. Now, while ups and downs are par for the course, it's very easy for us in our own minds to blow these downs out of proportion and put a lot of blame on ourselves. That's where my community program, the Confident French Speaker Community, comes in. By learning from someone who's been there, done it, and got all the self-criticism t-shirts, and being around other passionate learners like yourself in a community on a daily basis, you improve faster and keep those lows at bay. Check out the link in the description after the video. Okay, back to today's video. Numéro 3 is un hôte. Un hôte. We've seen 2 verbs, but now let's look at a noun that lives a double life. Ever seen the term une chambre d'hôte? Une chambre d'hôte? When you look it up, it comes up as a guest house or a bed and breakfast. But a website called Chambre d'Hôte never took off since Airbnb is simply shorter and snappier. Bref, un hôte is a host. You won't be surprised. I mean, you can see the similarities, right? And fun fact, if you see a circumflex on top of a letter in French, it is a sign that in Old French there used to be an S afterwards. So hôte, host. Hopefully you can see where the two separated. But anyway, that's for another lesson. So, un hôte is a host, and Old French, it also means guest. So if you hear Je suis Frédéric et je suis votre hôte ce week-end, technically he could be your host or your guest. However, it would be weird for someone to say, I'm your guest for the weekend, right? So you can use probability and common sense with this one, as well as our good old friend context, bien sûr. One saving grace is that for a female host, un hôte becomes une hôtesse. So there's only the potential for confusion with a male host. The next one is télécharger. If your computer or your phone are in French, you'll likely have come across the verb télécharger. Télécharger means to download, and I learned that one early on. But one day I wanted to say upload, probably around the time I started uploading YouTube videos, and I didn't know how. So of course I checked, and it was the same verb. Bonkers, right? The thing is, unlike the English verbs, which have the direction built into them, up and down, upload, download, the French doesn't. Charger means to load, and télé refers to something being done remotely. Téléphone, télévision, there's distance between you and the others. So if I say je télécharge une vidéo, I could mean I'm uploading or downloading a video. Again, context is what is going to help us out here. Also, I've learned that I can remove ambiguity by saying télécharger for to download and mettre en ligne, literally to put online for upload. Likewise, the noun, le téléchargement, is the download or the upload. It's the package that is sent over. The next one is acheter, acheter. Acheter, or specifically, acheter quelque chose à quelqu'un, acheter quelque chose à quelqu'un, can mean to buy something for someone, and, maybe you've guessed it by now, it also can mean to buy something from someone. So, je lui ai acheté ce portefeuille mince. Je lui ai acheté ce portefeuille mince. Does it mean I bought him this slim wallet, or I bought this slim wallet from him? Once more, context is key and will allow you to know the difference. Voila, that is it for my video all about weird French words which have opposite meanings. If you enjoyed this one, you found it interesting, please do leave a thumbs up down below. It really helps me spread my videos to more new viewers. Otherwise, you can click over here to watch another video, or here to check out my confident French speaker community. Enrollments are starting again soon if you're watching near the time of the release of this video. So don't dawdle if you're interested. En tout cas, merci beaucoup d'avoir regardé. À la prochaine pour un autre décortiquage de la langue française. Ciao, ciao.